You got all kinds of names for people like me up in your world. Abid, yeah, just being one of them. What names black people got for you? What names black people got for you? I'm just asking, what names do black people have for Muslims that are derogatory, that make Muslims feel that they are less than human? What names do Africans have for Muslims, bro? None. You got a bag of them. Kafir, Abid, pagan. Loads of them. Don't talk shit to me, bro. Don't talk shit to me. You motherfuckers are some of the most hip.
We found the country's black citizens often experience verbal abuse. We also discovered cases where racial prejudice had led to physical violence.
On May 21st, 2016, we were married and it was the happiest day of our lives.
But the year leading up to it was the hardest year we'd ever experienced. We endured emotional, mental, and physical trauma.
Racial slurs, death threats, and slander from some of those closest to us.
And we're told to give up on each other based solely on our difference of skin tone and background. I had a loaded gun pressed to the back of my head after being asked simply, do you want to marry this guy?
Brothers, we're not black. Let's stop talking like we're black.
You know that the first enslaver of African people was the Arab Muslim, before the white man even came. Before the white man even came, the white man, to come and enslave black people, yeah? He was the first enslaver. 642 AD, bro. White people didn't start enslaving until the 1400s. You had a way head start on white people, and you still do it today. Your people still do it today. So, bro, you can't talk shit to me, bro. I'm sorry. None of you can. And that's why I tell black people to wake up from this bullshit. You talk about, yeah, white people. Bro, your first enslaver and current enslaver, is an Arab Muslim. Say what you want about the British Empire. We can go into that. Say what you want about colonialism. We can go into that. Nowhere can you buy a black person in this world except for the Arab Muslim world. You can't buy no black people no more. Black people are on auction blocks in Europe, but they're on auction blocks in the Muslim Arab world though. Muslims under Islam are still enslaving African people in Libya, in Saudi, in Sudan, right now. You have absolutely no grounds to talk to me about anything about Islamophobia, bro. No grounds whatsoever. Yeah, it's like talking to it's like you're a racist trying to tell someone else they're a racist, and you ain't even looked in your whole home yet. Now. Right now.
When come here, I was sold. So after I was sold, they will ask me to they demand a ransom. 3 months, they will start beating you. From a week, they will start beating you so that your money will come quickly. So I was there for 8 months before I could pay my money and I went out. Merciless beating. If you look at most of the people here, if you check their body, you see the mark, they're beating. With electric. Even your boot, they took something like a sharp object. Understand? Most of them lost their life there.
Go chat to your people before you come and chat to me. Go chat to your Muslim brethren as to how they view black people before you come and chat to me. Don't dare ever.
$2.8 million women work as maids in the Middle East. Many have their passports confiscated on arrival, and some find themselves trapped inside homes where they're overworked, underpaid, and physically abused. And physically abused.
the truth, which is that our beloved Prophet Muhammad was a human rights activist. He was a feminist in his own right, uplifted the women in his community.
They don't think of you as a human being, they think you as a slave to them. I went to the police station and I stayed there for 3 weeks. They called my boss and my boss was like, don't let her leave. We still need her.
Today she's on her way to the hospital to visit Mary, a Kenyan maid who is badly burnt in a fire at her employer's home in Jordan.
Wafika kwa jiko, Maria akapiga nduru, wakaamka. Mama, nini Maria? Nachomeka.
False narrative, let's say a false narrative, that because we're a minority, that we're the same. No, we're Arabs, we're minority too, we're minority. But when you get to Arab land, they got us enslaved.
Nisaidie mama. Alipotamka, nilihisi kuna mtu ananipigia mateke.
So black people over here will think, oh no, see the Arab guys and the Pakistani guys are our friends because they're minorities too. Yeah? Go to their country, see how you're treated. Go and see how your friends treat you. Go and see how your friends really treat you. Nah, bro. They will enslave your ass, bro. You're Abid around them parts. Yeah? You're a slave around them parts. That's what you need to know as a black person. Black people need to wake the fuck up with this shit, man. Seriously.
For a month, no one in Jordan, not her employers or the recruitment agency, informed Mary's family of the accident until she was put on the plane home.
Now this is her. As a mother, as a leader, I will not stand, I will not sit and watch this kind of... We are not animals.
Despite stories of abuse, thousands of women from Kenya and Ghana still sign up with recruitment agencies, like this one in Jordan.
ماشي الحال؟ لا والله احنا على تركيز السوق الاردني على الغانيات بالدرجه الاولى احسن من كينيا، انا بالنسبه لي احسن من كينيا؟ احسن من كينيا. احنا كينيا احلى. لا انا بقول لك هلا شوف الكينيه تعليمها اعلى، هدول الشعب لهم بيضوا هارد وركر. انا بعثت لك اخر جروب وصل ها؟ محلاوي؟ ايه هودي ايه. وصلني 11 بنت اياها؟ ايه بعقد شو. خيي هيك يوصلوا كميه غير شكل. You are welcome here. And you have a good choice that you have Mr. Yusuf. He's one of the best agencies in Jordan.
Thank you, Dad. Yeah. You must call his dad.
Really? Thank you. حبيبي بلشنا. I appreciate. Thank you very much. And you too also so beautiful, really.
Thank you.
The abuse does happen, often behind closed doors and usually unreported. Some women, though, escape to safe houses, like this Caritas Center in Lebanon, where they are free to tell their stories.
He came where I was sleeping and he told me, I want you. And I told him, no, I can't, I'm married. And he told me, you're in my house, you have to obey my rules in this house. I was feeling confused, even I was wishing I would die. I was hurt. I don't remember it.
Marivik? Give me lighter. I don't think there is a human rights in this world. No way. Maybe in Europe, but not in the Middle East.
So black people over here will think, oh no, see the Arab guys and the Pakistani guys are our friends because they're minorities too. Yeah? Go to their country, see how you're treated. Go and see how your friends treat you. Go and see how your friends really treat you.
I don't think there is a human rights in this world. No way. Maybe in Europe, but not in the Middle East.
Nah, bro. They will enslave your ass, bro. You're Abid around them parts. Yeah? You're a slave around them parts. That's what you need to know as a black person. Black people need to wake the fuck up with this shit, man. Seriously.
Mary and Bela, The maid who was burnt while working in Jordan died of her injuries a month after she was returned to Kenya. Her family was never compensated, while the fight against the trade in domestic servants continues for Emma Mbura.
Kwa sababu wanaokwenda Saudia ni wasichana wengi ambao mara nyingi si wasomi kutoka kwetu tumejenga. Mimi leo siondoki hapa mpaka nikae na nyinyi wamama kando na tupange hilo Kilifi County kama wanawake.
642 AD, Muslim Arabs came into Africa, raping, robbing, pillaging, castrating, enslaving African people. Have been doing for 1,400 years. And here you are on my chat as a Muslim, and I'm an African, and you're going to tell me that I'm Islamophobic. Bro, you know what you need to do with that? You need to go there.
Absolutely. That the Arab conquest of North Africa was a form of colonization that took place in the 7th century when Arab Muslims burst out of Saudi Arabia and conquered Egypt and went on to conquer the whole of North Africa. There were a lot of Berber tribes there. The Egyptian Copts were the original indigenes of the land, as well as the Berbers. And they were all conquered and Islamized and Arabized. That was also a form of colonization, definitely.
Now, do Muslims today acknowledge this? Are they self-critical about this?
Not to the extent that the West has become very critical. In fact, many Muslims don't even admit that there was any form of colonization. Even though if you talk to the Berbers, and let's be also aware that many of the Berbers have become Muslim, the Berbers will tell you they have been colonized. There's been Arab imperialism. The same thing in Egypt. The Copts know that they are the original, the indigenes of the place. They feel like they have been colonized. The same thing will happen we talk to Sudanese. They will tell you that Sudan was colonized by Arab Muslim invaders. So yes, they will not admit it, but there is that kind of history there.
Okay, thanks for that. I want to move on to the topic of slavery now. Did the Muslim empires practice slavery?
Absolutely. Slavery was a very important part of Islamic expansion in West Africa, and in fact in the Sudan, and from the very earliest period of Islamic penetration into Africa. It started by buying, purchasing slaves and trading in slaves. And then it went on from purchasing to raiding for slaves and capturing slaves deliberately, especially mainly black Africans, and transporting them into North Africa and into Saudi Arabia, the Arabian Peninsula, and onwards to the Ottoman Empire to Turkey. So slavery was a very endemic part of Islamic interaction with Africa. And in West Africa, the jihad's period of the 18th and 19th century involved massive slave raiding and slave trading. And many of the slaves that were captured and sent and sold and taken into the transatlantic slave trade, most of those who were doing the raiding at the time were Muslim communities because they were the dominant tribes. So a lot of that happened. That is not to say that non-Muslim communities were involved in raiding, but the dominant tribes were the Muslim communities that were doing the raiding at the time.